As you all know, the TPP was discussed in Parliament and debated for 2 days. This was back in 2016, if I'm right.
A long time ago.
And since then, of course, we are the new government. We're at a crossroad, and also by the fact that Donald Trump got elected and he pulled out. So things have changed, which is why we're at the CPTPP stage. Today, we understand the government of the day, Tun, will be making a decision sometime next week or possibly as early as today on the TPP, whether we should continue this. We who fought in the caucus and fought for so long and fought during the parliamentary debate still maintain our stand as of 2016, and more so now with the pullout of the US in the entire trade agreement. So we do have a press statement.
Yes.
It's prepared jointly by all three of us, and
Yes.
Izzah will read it.
Okay. Say no to the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. This is nothing but a rebranding exercise, but the CPTPP does not add any benefits to the poor, terminally ill, women, or even governments. Rising from the ashes of the TPPA, which was tanked or trumped by US President Donald Trump, the new trade deal will instead have serious ramifications for Malaysia. And this is why the Pakatan Harapan government needs to withdraw from ratifying the CPTPP. The main change is that 20 provisions of the original pact, backed chiefly by the US, have been suspended. The suspension and not removal, mind you, suspension but not removal of these regressive provisions is not a reason for celebration, as they can be reinstated to please the American administration. The CPTPP still requires enforcement of patents, including on medicines that are significantly stronger than what the WTO's TRIPS rules require, WTO plus, which would have adverse implications for access to medicines. This would see the cost of life-saving medicines skyrocket as a result of patent protections that safeguard the interest of large pharmaceutical companies at the expense of average Malaysian citizens. What would happen if the Malaysian government wants to ensure the poor continue to have access to affordable medicine, as promised in our national medicine policy? Chances are it will face a suit from a multinational pharmaceutical under the investor-state dispute settlement, which would say the move takes a hit on its profits. As such, we were voted to power based on our reform agenda. We must keep seriously to our promises, focusing on the sovereignty and the benefit of Malaysia, not the other way around. The former BN government made a mockery of women's contribution to progress by signing the CPTPP on International Women's Day last year. This is despite the fact that the trade agreement would promote labour competition and women's low wages as a source of competitive advantage for corporations, besides threatening their access to public services through the reduction of tariffs that deprives governments of important revenue. There's nothing progressive about CPTPP except in name. And even the debate of the 1.2% GDP growth is still open within the, they call it, margin of error. So we have to be very careful. And I believe the statement is so clear that there's nothing to do but reject it.
Okay, should we take